Join the Wide Whale team May 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern for part 2 of our 3-part virtual event series, Voice of the Resident. For part 2, we will look specifically at residency. Using AI topic analysis, we've analyzed the free text of 400,000 Google reviews from residents of hundreds of top multifamily groups, including the NMHC Top 50, to identify how often 50 key topics are mentioned by residents. By filtering for and analyzing the topics by life cycle stage, we can isolate which topics are more influential during residency, versus tour, or renewal. Go to widewhale.com/data to sign up or find it in the revised community. That's widewhale.com/data.
Are you a coach? Do you coach people in your professional world or even in your personal world? I think there's something that is applicable to all coaches across any industry, across any profession, in any environment, in any forum. And that is that when you are coaching someone, there is a pushback. There is an adversity to loss. People don't like the idea of loss, even loss of self. So when you're coaching someone, you're actually acting as a conduit. You're not telling them what to do, but you're asking questions, you're probing, you're doing collaborative self-discovery, collaborative discovery between the two of you. You're learning as you go along, but what you're doing is you're shape-shifting mentality, you're shape-shifting environments, you're shape-shifting people so that there is this potential to lose self. To lose a piece of yourself is to be coached by someone to become a different person in the way you behave, the way you show up in the world, etc. And that sense of loss is sometimes off-putting. It's received in a way that I put up defense mechanisms so that I can't hear what you're saying. I can't see the benefit in what you're trying to help me do because I don't want to lose self. And that's a principle in coaching that you have to overcome. You, as the coach, have to figure out very quickly that that is not a reflection of you. It's not a definition of who you are as a person or as a coach. It is simply a response from the person that you are coaching. So let's think about 3 things as it relates to that. You have to understand that the root of that is just fear. It's just a fear of letting go in that person that you're trying to coach. It's a fear of letting go of self. It's a fear of letting go of rituals and routines and things that have really shored up and helped that person be the person that they are today. You're trying to tear down some of those things to help them become a different person or to behave or act in a different way. So the second thing is you have to honor the person's fear. You have to acknowledge it. You have to honor that it's there, and you have to help that person understand that the loss of this thing called self, or the loss of this behavior, this thing that they've done to shore up themselves, is not necessarily the highest and best use for them. It's time to let that thing go. It's time to let that version of self go. It's time to let that particular thing go so that you can become a higher and better version of yourself, but honor the fact that that is a fearful thing for people to do. It's just the underpinning of trust that you're trying to create there. And then just help people understand, this is the third thing. When you lose self, you're fostering a deeper, when you can influence somebody to lose self or to lose that routine or that thing that is not helping them, it fosters a deeper sense of connection. It fosters a deeper sense of trust. Going through an exercise with someone like that in a vulnerable way, it's a very vulnerable exercise. When you go through it together, when you're there, when you have their back, when you're acknowledging the fact that this is a fearful situation, you just breed better trust in that person toward you and toward the process. So my encouragement to you today is embrace this idea that this principle that loss of self is not comfortable. It's not fun, but it is necessary in a coaching environment. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.
Join the Wide Whale team May 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern for part 2 of our 3-part virtual event series, Voice of the Resident. For part 2, we will look specifically at residency. Using AI topic analysis, we've analyzed the free text of 400,000 Google reviews from residents of hundreds of top multifamily groups, including the NMHC Top 50, to identify how often 50 key topics are mentioned by residents. By filtering for and analyzing the topics by life cycle stage, we can isolate which topics are more influential during residency, versus tour, or renewal. Go to widewhale.com/data to sign up or find it in the revised community. That's widewhale.com/data.